So a few years ago, my son went to a summer camp, and he came home and he said, "Daddy, I just met the smartest boy I've ever met in my life." So I asked him, "What makes this boy so smart?" And he says, "His words, Daddy. He uses big words. You should meet him." So I did, and with the span of 30 seconds, he dropped this word on me. As you can see, this is a very long word. I don't know what it means, and I can't pronounce it. And then we kept speaking. So I conversed with this boy for a few minutes, and he said, "I know another word. Here it is. And I know another word, and another word." And all of these words I didn't understand, and I couldn't pronounce. So while he was saying these words, I kept nodding my head in agreement and saying, "Oh, wow." But meanwhile, I was thinking, "Please stop. Go far away from me. You're a very annoying child." And thankfully, my son interrupted, but I didn't like what he said either, because he said, "Hey, Daddy, maybe we can have a play date with this boy. Could you give him our phone number?" So I made a parental choice. I don't know if I made the right one. I ended up giving him a phone number, but it wasn't our phone number. And in my defense, my son had enough friends, and I also realized that this young boy, I know what he will become, and he will become an academic. But he will become one of those academics who writes impenetrable text that torments me so. And if I ask this future academic, "Please tell us about your research," he wouldn't be able to, because he'd be too cocooned within the echo chamber of his own discipline to do so. But keep in mind, this event is about how you convey your research to someone outside of your field. So if you are anything like that boy, please heed this advice. Number one, make your research relatable. I don't care about your research. That's my default setting. You have to make me care about your research. Earn it and teach, because if I don't understand your research, I'm certainly not going to care. Next, make your research usable, because it isn't about you. It's about me and how your research impacts my life. Finally, make sure your research is memorable. And it is. You're doing fantastic things. It's unique. Showcase that uniqueness. But make sure you present it in an engaging, interesting 3-minute package. Because it's not just what you say, it's how you say it that matters. So let's take a look at your own research. Here it is. We have Latin. Do I care about Latin? No, because I don't understand it. So you further clarify and you say Latin is research about a specific kind of beetle. Am I interested now? No. Right? I'm a little more interested because you've defined your term, but really I don't care that much. But then you further clarify that your research is about beetle sex. And admittedly, I'm now kind of intrigued. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. And then you explain that your research is about beetle fertility and how it's impacted by heat waves. And because of global warming, we're having more heat waves. That's more interesting. And then you explain how human fertility can also be impacted by these heat waves and global warming. Now I have a stake in the game, and I am more interested. And to boot, you could talk about the fluorescent beetle sperm that was in this research. So again, please don't judge me, but I think fluorescent beetle sperm is interesting too. I don't know about you. I guess I'm the only one. Another way to make your research come alive is to use vivid imagery. Case in point, let's look at this great white shark. So it says, once the great white shark locates its prey, the camouflaged predator uses razor-sharp serrated teeth to strike. That's interesting. I think about razor-sharp teeth, that's all right. But the word that sticks out to me is the word serrated. That evokes a visceral response, serrated. Let's conduct an experiment right now. So everyone, close your eyes, please. Close your eyes. I went into teaching, not for the money, but for the power. Close your frickin' eyes. Yes, so imagine you are now being attacked by a shark. And the shark is biting into you. And it has razor-sharp teeth. I know what you're thinking. No big deal. That's a clean in, clean out, no problem. Now, there's another shark attacking you. You've had an unfortunate day. And this shark has razor-sharp, serrated teeth. Now imagine what that feels like. I've now evoked a visceral response from you, right? I've made you not only think, but feel. So the descriptors that you use are extremely important. So don't just make people think, make them feel. Like when I talk about nails on a chalkboard, I don't have to actually do it, I can just talk about it and you will feel something. Another strategy to use is here. Make sure you use metaphor of some kind. Make a comparison because it's about teaching. You have to teach, and this is a good tool in your toolkit to help people understand. So let's look at this shark again. The great white shark can reach speeds of 69 kilometers an hour. There's some nice quantifiable data. I guess 69 kilometers an hour is fast, but speed is relative. The only context I have is driving in my car, and I'm thinking, I'm not going very fast right now. And in my deluded brain, I actually think, maybe on a good day, I could run 69 kilometers an hour. Yeah, I could do that. Could I swim 69 kilometers an hour? Yeah, probably. But then I realized that this shark is as fast as an Olympic swimmer. Actually, 8 times faster than an Olympic swimmer. And I'm thinking, I know I'm not faster than an Olympic swimmer, and I'm certainly not 8 times faster than an Olympic swimmer. So with this comparison, I now realize that I'm in the ocean, I'm swimming, and this creature with the jagged teeth is attacking me, and I'm dead. Right? So I evoke more emotion through metaphor and I teach. But make sure that you use good analogies when you do so. For example, this is a bad analogy. Her eyes were like 2 brown circles with big black dots in the center. Don't use that analogy. Also, don't use this analogy. John and Mary had never met. They were like 2 hummingbirds who had also never met. Please, use your own analogies. These are mine. I would also like to say to you, exude some passion. I'm reminded of my son when he was really little. And I'd throw him a ball or whatever, and he'd get really excited. And I love that unbridled enthusiasm. And then I remember he actually skipped to school when he was in kindergarten. Now he's in grade 8, so he walks to school like this. But I remember what he was like as a child, and I love that enthusiasm. So if you're passionate about your research, then we will be too. With one caveat, I've seen a lot of these presentations, and sometimes with some presenters, I think it's more about auditioning for a Broadway play than conveying their research. So I've seen a lot of videos, and I see people doing a lot of this and a lot of that. Be careful that the performance doesn't overshadow your actual research. And finally, I'd like to end with this picture. Now, this was a gift given to me by my son when he was 5 years old. And apparently, it's a picture of me. So I remember receiving this gift, and I said to my son, whose name is Will, I said, "Oh, Will, this is such a beautiful picture. I love it so much." Meanwhile, I was thinking, oh my goodness, my son is so disturbed. What's wrong with him? He needs help. But over the years, I've loved to cherish this picture. This is precious. Why is it precious? It's because this is his own reality. This is him. And if he sees his father with a demonic face and with appendages just jutting out of his shins and forearms, that's his prerogative. That's his worldview. So when you present, be yourself. If this is you, then do that. But if it isn't you, then perhaps you shouldn't, because authenticity also matters. So finally, I just want to say to you, enjoy the moment. Have some fun. Enjoy it because there are very few times in life in which people are confined in a room, forced to listen to what you have to say. So enjoy it, and good luck during the competition. Thank you very much.